Cultural heritage isn't just a source of pride. It's a living, breathing legacy that deserves respect and protection. But what happens when global brands step into this delicate space without proper acknowledgement? This is exactly the situation unfolding between Adidas, one of the world's largest sportswear companies, and the indigenous communities of Oaxaca, Mexico. The controversy centers around a shoe design that many argue crosses the line from inspiration to exploitation. On July 8, 2025, Mexican officials from Oaxaca accused Adidas of cultural appropriation over a new sneaker design called the Oaxaca Slip-On. These black leather shoes draw clear parallels to huaraches, traditional sandals worn by the Zapotec people for generations. Huaraches aren't merely functional footwear. They represent centuries of craftsmanship, cultural identity, and ancestral connection to the land. For many in Oaxaca, seeing these designs repackaged as trendy sneakers feels like a betrayal. The slip-on shoes are part of a collaboration between Adidas Originals and Willy Chavarria, an American designer with deep roots in Chicano culture. According to Chavarria, the collection aims to celebrate Chicano traditions while paying homage to his own Mexican heritage. During a panel discussion in Puerto Rico, he expressed pride in partnering with Adidas, calling it a brand that respects and uplifts culture authentically. However, not everyone shares his enthusiasm. In fact, reactions in Mexico have been overwhelmingly negative. Salomon Jara, the governor of Oaxaca, publicly condemned Adidas for allegedly copying traditional huarache designs without seeking permission or crediting the artisans who created them. In a video posted on X, formerly Twitter, Jara emphasized that huaraches are more than just a style. They embody the history, values, and resilience of the Zapotec people. He specifically highlighted the Villa Hidalgo Yalalog community, whose members are recognized as skilled makers of these iconic sandals. But here's where it gets controversial. Should designers be allowed to reinterpret traditional designs? Is their work raises awareness about marginalized cultures? Or does any form of commercialization inherently disrespect the original creators? These questions lie at the heart of the debate surrounding cultural appropriation versus appreciation. The stakes are high in this case. Oaxaca's Ministry of Cultures and Arts has demanded that Adidas halt the sale of the Oaxaca Slip-On, formally recognize its origins, and engage in meaningful dialogue with the affected community. They argue that indigenous culture should never be treated as a commodity to be exploited without consent or reciprocity. Additionally, Governor Jara warned that legal action might follow if Adidas fails to address these concerns adequately. Mexico has long been vocal about protecting its rich cultural heritage. Over the past few years, international fashion giants such as Zara and Shein have faced backlash for using patterns and motifs closely tied to indigenous artistry without permission. To combat this issue, Mexico passed a landmark federal law in 2022 designed to safeguard the intellectual and cultural property rights of indigenous and Afro-Mexican communities. Violators can face hefty fines and even imprisonment under this legislation. Adidas isn't alone in finding itself embroiled in similar disputes. Back in 2022, Morocco's Ministry of Culture accused the company of appropriating Moroccan zellige mosaics in jerseys made for Algeria's national football team. Initially denying the allegations, Adidas later admitted that the jerseys were indeed inspired by Moroccan artistic traditions. Yet, no formal apology was issued, an omission that left many feeling unsatisfied. As of now, neither Adidas nor Willy Chavarria has responded to the accusations stemming from the Oaxaca Slip-On controversy. But this silence may only fuel further criticism. And this is the part most people miss. Cultural appropriation debates often hinge less on malicious intent and more on power dynamics. When a multi-billion-dollar corporation profits from symbols rooted in indigenous struggles, it raises uncomfortable questions about fairness and equity. Where do we go from here? Is there a way for brands to honor cultural legacies without erasing the voices of those who created them? What responsibilities do designers bear when drawing inspiration from marginalized communities? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Adidas crossed the line, or is this simply a misunderstanding? Share your opinions in the comments below.